Behind me, I have the first generation ever M3, which is an E30 M3, and here I have the current generation M3, which is a G80 M3. Today, we're gonna compare these two cars and see how the M3 has evolved over time. Here I'm with my boy Leo, and this is his E30 M3. He knows a little bit more about this car than I do. I don't know too much about the old E-chassis BMWs, so he's gonna walk you guys through this one.
So this is my 1988 E30 M3. I've had it for about 2 years now. Came with the livery. It's actually got a cool history. Motor's original. It's got the original S14 in it. Original transmission as well. The odometer was broken at like 240,000 miles. I would probably estimate it to be closer to 250 if that, was accurate when the guy before me or whoever got it. But a couple of cool facts about the car is that the E30s are known for dominating in DTM racing back in the day. So this is actually a replica of one of the DTM cars that was so successful at what it did. Only real difference in the livery is that the original DTM car had the number 47. This one's got 27. I don't really know the story behind that. At some point, this is just a replica, so it's not a real DTM car or anything like that. But at some point, this was just a car for the American consumer at the time, and someone went in and revamped the whole motor. I mean, the S14 is built, dude. It's nice. It could use some work. Rod bearings at some point need to be done. But it's a good car, man.
So as you can see, this E30 is stupid clean. I mean, it's a super iconic car, especially with the livery and everything. But I think we have some plans to change some stuff up on it, right? So I mean, what are some plans in the near future for it?
So the go-to thing for E30s now, or at the time back in the day, was if you could upgrade, you'd upgrade to the S52, right? And then the S54 came out and pretty much changed all of that. So
S54 is game changing, bro.
Yeah.
So S54 swap?
S54 swap eventually for sure. I'm keeping the wheels. I love these wheels. They came with a car, so
they're clean. What style are they?
They're the LM style, I think, but they're super clean, man. One of my favorite things about the car, honestly. At some point, I want to do a half cage, and the livery will come off and go back on at another time. But it could definitely use some paint work. But for the most part, dude, this thing is it's all paint.
Yeah,
so the paint's
paint
original.
With the livery, right?
Yeah, the paint's original, and then the livery, came later.
I mean, yeah, bro, you can't go wrong. E30 M3, it's iconic, arguably one of the best M3s, and it's kind of hard to get your hands on one of them. So it's cool that we have one here and such a good example of it as well. So yeah, they are the same price. Yeah. How much did you buy this car for?
So I paid 80 G's for it. At the time, they were running about 100, 95 or so.
80 is a good price. So
yeah.
I got the G80 M3 for 80K as well, and then we're selling it for about $80,000 right now. So yeah, cars are the same price. And what year is this car?
88.
88. So an 88 versus a 2021 car, and they're the same price. That's wild, bro. But yeah, it's a great example of an E30 M3. The evolution over time has been crazy because these cars don't even look like they're the same model. So let's dive into the G80 a little bit and see what's changed. So we're moving over to the G80 M3 now, which is the current generation of the BMW M3, where the E30 is the first generation. And a lot has changed over time. I mean, it doesn't even look comparable. It's a great car. They're both great cars. And like we were saying, they're the same price point. But I don't know, man. I honestly think I personally like the E30 more. But what do you think? Which one are you taking? I mean, that is your car. This is my car.
I'm a little biased, so I'm going to take the E30. But dude, you can't go wrong with the G80s, man. They look so good.
They make really good power, which is insane. I mean, how much power does the E30 make?
I think it's 197.
Right under 200. So I think this car comes 500 factory. Now it's at 750 wheel. So the difference in power and technology, we'll have to dive into the interiors of the car a little bit. But it's very advanced. I mean, what is that, 30, 40 years difference generation on the M3? So a lot has changed. I can't say that one car is necessarily better than the other, because if you're talking about performance or about drivability, every car is going to have their thing that's better than the other. But overall, they're both sick cars. It's really cool that we have the first and current generation of the BMW M3 here behind us. So I think one of the biggest differences of these two cars is the front grille. So over time, BMW has changed the front grille a lot, but on the E30 here, it's the smallest grille I think that they do on any M3. It is facing up though. When they switch to F chassis, they go on a sideways grille style. And then the G80 literally has the biggest grille on any M3 car ever. And a lot of people don't like this, but this is actually one of my favorite front ends on the M3 ever. Arguably, I kind of like this front end more than this front end, but I don't know. What do you think about it? It's like,
I think the E30 is the most iconic front end of any car. I think it's incredibly recognizable, but
It's true.
The G chassis looks great. I hated it at first, but it looks great.
I agree. I hated this car at first. I think with the right mods, it does look really good, but you're not wrong. The E30 is very timeless, but also just like the size difference of these cars. I don't know how well you guys can tell on camera, but this car seems like miniature. It almost seems like a little Hot Wheels car, and this car seems like a boat. This car I think weighs like 3,700 pounds. It's very heavy. This car weighs about 2,600 pounds, so it's a lot lighter, kind of making up a little bit of like the speed factor, and it feels a little bit faster because it's a little bit slower, only like 200 horsepower. But yeah, the front end of these cars is definitely one of the biggest differences, as well as interior. So I think we should dive into that, check out the interior a little bit, and see what's changed over time. All right, guys, so we're in the interior of the E30 M3, and I will tell you that this does look like it's a car from the 80s. It even has that like that OG smell of like an old car, but it does look sick. It's timeless, it's simple, and I like that about this car. I mean, on the dash, it's just like super simple. You get the little M logo on there. They did like change a lot of things over time. There's a lot of plastic in here, and definitely the quality of the stuff got much better over time, as you could imagine. But the interior of this car honestly doesn't feel that small for how small the car seems on the outside, but manual, you can't go wrong. It's a really good spec. It's got these buckets in here, which I do not fit in. Yeah, the G80 has buckets too, so I guess the two cars do have that in common, even though that these are aftermarket. But the interior in here is just so timeless and you can't go wrong, but they did change a lot over time. Moving over to the G80 M3, let's see what they changed. All right, guys, so we're in the interior of the G80 M3 now, which is the current version of this M3. It's completely different. They've changed a lot of things. The tech is insane. It's all digital screens. No more of that OG cluster stuff, which I do think is iconic, so you can't go wrong. But the tech is just insane. There's a lot more stuff. You got heated seats, the buckets, all that good stuff. I bet there's a lot of details that have changed over time. You could go super into depth about it, but as far as interior goes, there's a lot going on in here. You almost kind of get distracted with it. I will say in the E30, it's just timeless. It's not distracting, it's clean. And although this interior is pretty clean as well, it's just a little distracting. There's a lot going on with it. So overall, I think, I don't know, I really like the interior in this car with the orange and everything, the carbon fiber bucket seats. You kind of can't go wrong with that, but the E30 is so iconic. I honestly couldn't tell you what interior I like more. They changed so much over time, but the G80 M3 does have a very nice interior.
Okay, so one of my favorite things about the G chassis interior is that if you actually take a look at the E30 interior and this one, the layout is fairly similar. It's all driver based, really. So that is one of my favorite things about BMW as a brand in general, but it is incredibly different. It's way more modern. It looks great. I mean, the carbon buckets alone are insane, man. Like, they are so nice. I've been in a couple of the G chassis cars, and they're not the most comfortable seat for long drives, but they are comfortable for if you're doing any kind of track activity or really just whipping the car hard or whatever.
Have it, the G80 M3, the current version of the M3, and the E30 M3, the first generation ever of the M3. We showed you guys a few differences and the evolution of these cars over time. Leave us a comment down below and let us know which car you like better. If you like any of the parts on the G80 M3, they're available at the link down in the description at cencalmotorsport.com. We'll catch you guys in the next one.